Hello and welcome to the 2024 Christmas special, where in today's video we will be making the most affordable gaming PC possible for less than $500. So let's get to it. Anyway guys, I'm Greg Hrutkay of Hrutkay Mods, and in today's video we are building a gaming PC for a biker brother of mine. His, I believe, grandson is going to be getting this system right here. And I found this system here on Amazon for less than $500. In fact, this card right here cost $20 more than the computer itself did. And what I had to do to find it was I searched Dell 8th generation Intel. And in less than 5 minutes, I found this system. I told them what to order. They ordered it. This right here is a Dell Optiplex, I think. What is this? A Precision 3630. It's an 8th generation Intel. And the reason why I went with 8th generation is because it's affordable. And it natively supports Windows 11. In fact, this supposedly comes with Windows 11 already on it. This was the first thing that popped up in the search, and I thought it was a pretty good match. It's got a 6-core i7 in it, and 16 gigs of RAM, and it's expandable and upgradable. We then found this RTX 3060 here, which is an OEM fresh takeout. According to the seller on Amazon, they took it out of the system and then sold it on Amazon, and it's supposed to be brand new. It's unbranded. It basically looks like something that would come in a Dell system, so it's going to fit in this very well. And all the research I did on this system consisted of me looking up the models of it in about a 5-minute span and finding out that the biggest one came with an 800-watt power supply, which I would assume would have an 8-pin connector on it. For this, and I hope it does, because if it doesn't, we may have problems. It's a nice upgradable system though. The only drawback that I see in it right now is it's got 512 gigs of storage on an SSD, which is a little small for a gaming PC, but it will be a good start. And I'd say it's going to be pretty upgradable. This system can take up to a 9th generation 8-core. If he decides to upgrade it, we'll upgrade and flash the BIOS in case he ever wants to upgrade the CPU, he can. It, of course, can take up to 64 gigs of RAM. And I think it will be a perfect gaming system. It's very upgradable and still a very good system. And it looks like it was built February 19th, sometime in February of 2019, according to this. So it's, of course, a little older, but it will still be expandable and still be a very good system. It's running with DDR4. It's still pretty current, considering, and it should take this RTX 3060 pretty well. And I went with the 3060 because it was the most affordable bang for the buck. And like I said, it was $20 more than the system itself. And in total, I think they spent, with shipping, probably around $440, which I think, with the performance we're going to get out of this, it's going to be a pretty good match. So let's get to it. Okay, so first things first, we have to figure out how to open this. This system right here, it looked bigger in the pictures. I'm kind of glad I went with the 3060 because I don't think anything bigger would actually fit in it. It looked a lot bigger in the pictures. I thought this was a full size. This is like a mid tower, a little smaller than that maybe. And I think it will fit. I hope it does. But first we got to figure out how to open it. Thankfully, Dells are pretty modular, but they're also kind of weird sometimes. How do you open it? It looks like we've got locks here, and this. I'll flip this up, Nope. Apparently you pull that. So kind of like maybe a Mac Pro. Flip this up. Okay. So we open it. Yeah, there's not a lot of room in there. Well, good news is it does have a connector that will fit this, so that will work. But I feel like we should probably take it apart and repaste it, because this has been a workstation for years. Let's see what else we have in here. Here's the SSD. I figured this had an NVMe in it, but it looks like it uses an old school SATA. Oh no. Oh no. It's not a good sign. That looks like a cheap Chinese SATA drive. Let's see what we've got to work with here. Because I can't read what it is, and also I can't unscrew it. How do you? Yeah, thank you, Dell, for being so weird. Ah, I see. Okay. It's a KingFast SSD. This is going to... Yeah, I figured this was an NVMe. This is not an NVMe. That may not last very long. Definitely will want to upgrade that. Hopefully it will work. I doubt this has any NAND. It's probably not a great SSD, but who knows, it might be. Yeah, we'll get back to that and put it back in there later. Let's see here, how do we get the power supply out? Flip those up, and then this swings out. So I flip these up. Do I pull this and then, okay. Oh, well, that's actually kind of neat. And there is the tiny, teeny weeny heat sink. So, yeah, we'll take that out. And this will also make it easier to put this in. Let's see if it will just fit. Do a quick test fit here. Currently doesn't want to go in. Put this back. Hey, yeah, I wonder if that will fit back. Hey, it fits. So, yeah, me randomly guessing what parts would fit in this actually worked out for me. That's awesome. So, we'll reopen this. And I will... it only comes with one stick of DDR in it. So it's not running dual channel. I figured it would have 2 8-gig sticks in it. That's another drawback of this, but I mean, it's still an affordable gaming system. It's not what I was planning, but hey, for doing minimal research, still seems like a good deal. So I will be right back, and we'll go into figuring out how to make this all work. So we'll see in a bit. Okay, so taking a look in here, it kind of looks like we've got an Asus board on here, but it's Dell branded, as we can see there. It's a strange form factor. it's pretty much just a basic old school workstation. It does have an NVMe slot, so we can upgrade this to an NVMe, which I'd probably recommend they do that. You know, I might have one that we could put in here as a little bonus. Let me look around. Since this is a Christmas present, I do actually have one. I've had this for about a year now, and this was going into a Mac project that I haven't filmed yet. I can always order another one, and I think I'd rather it have an NVMe in it, just, you know, just for stability. And well, this is a reliable WD Black, which will be a lot more reliable than that KingFast. You can use the KingFast as extra storage, maybe. I don't know if I'd really trust it. But I'm going to stick this in here and give them a free upgrade. So, yeah, you're going to love this. The slot broke as I put it in, so there's a 50-50 shot that this will actually work. I don't even see where the piece of plastic went. But as you can see, the bottom of the slot is now broken, and I don't know how that happened because I put it in the way you're supposed to. But it's in there now, so hopefully it still works. Crap. Well, I can safely say that they did not repaste it when they refurbished the system. That's the original paste on it, and this also has one of those weird server heat sinks on it, which means you can't just upgrade the heat sink. I mean, you probably can. It still kind of looks, I don't know, but that definitely is not a normal heat sink. So I'm going to clean this off. Let's see what the CPU is. And it looks like we have an i7-8700 in it. The last time I built a brand new system, I installed an i5-8500 in. So it's been a while since I've built a whole new system. And I'll tell you what, this is still a very respectable little CPU. And of course, this is upgradable all the way up to an i9 9th generation. So there's a good upgrade path still to go on. And you can go from a 6 to an 8 core with between 12 threads to 16 threads. So yeah, that's pretty respectable, and it's a nice little CPU. Let's paste it and get the heatsink back on. So we pulled the 3060 apart, and yes, I believe it is brand new. The paste is still very tacky, but I don't like the way they spread it, so we're still repasting it either way. Plus, since I pulled it off, we need to. But it looks like a very generic card. Hopefully it will perform well. And yeah, this is the most popular at the time card on Steam, so hopefully this will do exactly what it needs to do. And I've just noticed this. It's got some missing memory chips, and they still applied the pads for them. That's okay then. Cool. And there we go. There is the clean GA106 die, and it is ready to get pasted. I also decided to take the KingFast out. I don't think I'm going to put it back in the system. If the NVMe works, I'm hoping it does. So let's button this back together after we paste it and put this together, and the next time you see it, we should be doing the first smoke test. Okay, so we're going to do the first thing that I should have done when I got the thing, and do a smoke test to see if it actually works, because I had never tested it. This is just going to see if it turns on, so let's hit the power button. It does turn on. Everything, you know, I don't remember if I plugged in the CPU cooler. I don't hear it. Let's check that real quick. All right, let's try it again. Now I hear the CPU cooler. I forgot to plug it in. But yeah, that looks like it worked. So let's get a monitor out and hook it up and start setting up Windows. Hopefully the NVMe slot still works. We will find out, because I'd say the drive works. I've never tested it, so yeah. All right, so we've got the system set up here with one of my Dell monitors. It's a 1080p monitor, way underkill for the card that's in this. We also have my Apple Pro speakers plugged in with my JC Hi-Fi from Juicy Chrome, and we've got the installer drive, a Dell mouse from about 20 years ago, and a gateway keyboard from about 20 years ago, just to see if this all works. This is going to be the first power on. Let's see what happens. Please show a video. It's a good sign. No bootable devices found. Press F1 to retry boot, F2 for setup utility, and F5 to run onboard diagnostics. Let's plug this in. Let's try F2 first. Woo, that is a very low Oz here. It looks good. They put the Indem 2, okay, boot sequence. We'll want to have it UEFI. Advanced boot options. We don't need legacy ROMs. Let's see here. Drives. Yep, it's in the NVMe, so it's not fried. That's good. Let's just exit. See if it will boot off the flash drive. Please boot off the flash drive. I didn't have any USB 3 flash drives I could find. So we're booting off USB 2, which means this is going to take a while. I think it's booting. We won't, yeah, it is, okay. We'll start doing the Windows setup and pray it works. It was actually fairly quick. All right, next. Install Windows 11. Everything will be deleted. Not the fastest thing on earth with this drive, but hey. It already has a partition on it. It's brand new. It's weird. Oh, okay. That's it's the install drive. It's been a while since I've installed Windows completely from fresh. All right, next. It's showing the drive activity. Next. Okay, well, let's try this. Create partition. Apply. Next. Oh boy. Refresh. Next. It's going swimmingly well. There we go. Okay. Install Windows 11 to keep nothing. I mean, there's nothing to keep, so. Blah, 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 blah. Install. We'll install Windows 11. We'll come back when it's in Windows 11, hopefully. And it's actually installing pretty quick. We're already at 8%, so neat. We'll see you guys in a bit. We're at 10% already. Neat. Well, we're in Windows 11, and I am glad I'm testing it right now. It gets loud. This heatsink sucks for the CPU. It will immediately spike up to 100 when you're doing a load test, and then it equals out eventually, and everything drops. But that's not good. As we can see, we've already hit 100 on one of the cores, but once it gets going, boy, it's loud. I don't know if I put this heatsink back on correctly or not, because it does eventually go down into the 70s. It's just not a good heatsink. I don't know. It does eventually, but it's, yeah, I don't know. But this is one impressive system. It's got a max of 4.6 gigahertz, just straight out the box. And that's 6 cores and 12 threads. That's pretty darn impressive. I don't like these temperatures very well. I'm pretty sure I put the heat sink on right, but at this point, I'm not really sure. I might have to crack back into it. But we are currently installing drivers, stress testing it, and we're going to do a BIOS flash on it. Let's actually stop this for now. I don't know what build of the BIOS is on here. Summary. It doesn't tell me. That doesn't tell me. 7124. It's a recent one, but there's one from December that I just downloaded. So we're going to update that. And yeah, I might crack this thing back open, but it's working so far, so I guess that's a good thing. So I looked it up, and the loud fan and the CPU throttling thing is a common problem with this system because it's designed for lower power CPUs, and from the factory this thing came with the 8700 i7, and there's actually a cooler you can get to upgrade this thing, which kind of looks like a laptop cooler, and it has copper. It's a completely copper cooled heatsink, and that fixes the thermal throttling and all that stuff. It's a factory defect, which is interesting. So he'll have to suffer with it being loud until they can get a better heatsink, I guess. There's also ways you can modify to put an AIO liquid cooler in it. That might be another option. I could even do that if they want to do that. But yeah, it's just how Dell made it. So yeah, it's a great, yeah. Because that means when you're trying to get this thing up to 4.6, it's going to throttle down to like 4.1 probably. I mean, it's still a lot of speed for a 6-core 12-thread, but still nowhere near what it should be. So, yeah. Okay, so I've run all the updates on it. We can still update this BIOS, so let's update it here. That is actually, I like this little utility. This is kind of neat. All right, the update was successful here. Took a while, but it's booting back up. Let's see how fast it can boot. That's really, really fast. Let's see if it did update everything properly. We're fully updated now. Awesome. Now, there's one last thing I want to do. One of the games he wants to play is GTA 5. So I do have GTA 5. I'm going to download it. It's going to take a while. We're going to test it, see how well it runs on a 3060. And, well, spoiler alert, it should be able to run everything at max settings, especially on a 1080p display. It's going to actually bottleneck on this display, but should be fun to watch, so let's do that. Sean says hi, by the way. Oh boy, is this going to take a long time. A very, very long time. Yay. Alright, so we've got my GTA saved from like 2019 on here. I've just run the benchmark. This thing is totally maxed out with every single setting you can get. And it's running at 1080p. With no VSync, and the benchmark was doing around 75 to 80 FPS, which is very impressive. This is definitely a 2K card. It could probably even do 4K with GTA 5, but I don't have that monitor for this, and this is a 60 Hertz monitor. But we're going to do a quick play through and see just how good it is. Mind you, I haven't played this game in 5 years. In fact, this computer was new, but the last time I actually really played this game. And this steers like a real Corvette in the rain. Not very good at this game anymore. Yeah. As you notice, everything loads in immediately. And most systems that I've built in the past to play this game, stuff doesn't render in and stuff. It's, this is max settings. This is insane. I think this plays GTA 5 really well. Of course, I've got to get every slow vehicle on here.
Be the best you possible for the memories and satisfy requirement focus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're just flying. Okay. It's hard to play this game with no radio. And as we can see, everything's loading in. And I really still suck at this game. It's been so long since I played it. I call that a win. If we go in the settings, literally every setting that can be set to high is on high or higher. No, I don't want to change anything. Yeah, as we can see, everything is set. The only thing I haven't done is frame scaling mode because that bogs down anything. You use it in, it works perfectly. So I call that a win. This system's built It's really loud, massively loud. It's blowing a lot of heat out the top, but it works. So, yeah, let's wrap up the video. And that's how you build a gaming PC for less than $500. Now, there's a few things that I would have changed if I had thought about them at the time. In fact, I didn't think about the fact that this doesn't have Wi-Fi in it. So they have to buy a Wi-Fi dongle for it. And of course, we can't consider the SSD I put in it to keep it under $500, because the SSD I put in it, which I had just laying around, that's like $144, and it was like $200 when I bought it last year. But this is the original King Fast SSD, and this would probably work okay for a while, but honestly, it feels cheap. It's probably not a good SSD, and it won't last very long. The NVMe that's in this thing flies, and it should actually run it at full speed. So it's cooking. Plus, this system is still supported by Dell with updates. For being a system that's about 6 years old at this point, it's still a brand new system in the eyes of Dell, and they still fully support it, and there's still a lot of updates available. In fact, Windows 11 will install the Dell's updates that are pushed out. And like I said, this will run a 9th gen Intel CPU in it. It flies, and it costs less than $500 to build, if you don't count the SSD I stuck in it. But yeah, I'm still going with this is less than $500 to build. There is a better heat sink that they are ordering, and they're also ordering a Wi-Fi module. It's going to be a USB Wi-Fi. So he'll have his Wi-Fi, and it's going to be Wi-Fi 6, which means he'll have plenty enough Wi-Fi connection to game on. He's going to be using this for more than GTA 5, but this was the only game I had to test it. So I tested it, and it works great. So I am going to actually get my crap off of here and set this up exactly the way it needs to be set up for him, and leave it at that. So that's the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas. And I am very excited for this system. It turned out exactly the way I wanted it to, except for the heat sink and this. So other than that, yeah, that's the end of today's video. And this has been a Hrutkay Mods video. And welcome to the After the Hrutkay Mods video part. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, because I really definitely need it. And yeah, thanks for the support. I do have Patreon and all that other stuff, so if you want to support me through that, please do. There's links in the description below. And that's the end of today's video once again. Bye.